Do, 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 do. This is the theme music for today. This is the theme music. What can I say? I see nobody joining, but that's okay. I'm going to do this scope anyway. Shatter85 has joined us, and someone else before them, which I missed. Very sorry about that. Hello, says Burr. Boy, new names. Hi, Rhonda. Good to have you back. You're such a positive force in the room whenever you're here. And I was not going to wear these because they were crooked the other day. I ended up using the video of the Periscope the other day, or yesterday, on my webpage, and then my glasses are crooked. All right. G Scripture has joined. Nancy B. I've got to find something for my eyes. I can't see what you're doing. Here we go. Back to these. All right. So, good morning. So yesterday afternoon, we had a double rainbow outside our house, and I did a scope on it. I got 38 people in the... Okay. I got 38 people in the room. So I'd like to have those same 38 back here right now. So let's go get them. Come on. All right, sorry. Hey, Track S. I'll say these are new people. I love having new people. I want you to stick around. I'm just welcoming people. Just give me a second. Hi, Tracy, a makeup and skincare fanatic. She's also, all right, I'm going to try and speak. I do voiceovers, you know. Healthcare professional, a mother, and a friend, and more. TracyKester.com. Check her out today if you'd like. So whenever new people jump in, I'd like to try and acknowledge them. Hi, Stephanie. Glad to have you here. Denise is here. So, and Rob, of course, is here. And G Scripture joined again. So let's take a look at G Scripture, since they showed themselves twice. George Scripture. Wow, your last name is Scripture? George is a licensed clinical social worker, a USMC veteran, a teacher, a group home counselor, etc. Please follow him or check him out and then decide for yourself if you'd like to follow him. You know what I decided this morning? It's silly that I don't have a Boundless Living mug. I sit here and drink coffee all the time on my scopes, and it's an opportunity for product placement, branding. Boundless Living, little logo and the whole thing. Oh well, I'll have that done. I'll get my people on it. Hey! So, Mucho Problems. Well, let's just solve that right now, Mucho Problems. Let's find out Mucho Problems' first name, however, if we can. I can't because it's not here. But hi from Arizona. Oh, I think I recognize you. You're not a first-timer. Good to have you here. Chris has joined, and if any of you would like to share with followers, that'd be awesome. Your friends call you Mucho? Okay, Mucho. Mucho in the room. That way I don't have to remember the name. And Juliet Nelson has joined. All right, well, look, a couple of things. Yes, we have a topic today. I'm a little late because I had to go to Men's Warehouse and pick up my tuxedo because tomorrow I'm off to Russia, and I have to be famous. You know how it is. Juliet, hi. I'm doing the emoticon, the Juliet emoticon. Yeah, a tux. I can't tell you the last time I wore a tux. I could, but then I'd have to, well, no, it's been probably since my college roommate got married a long time ago. I'm really happy with it, actually. Purple vest with a black, you know. So I even bring my Boundless Living branding. You know, I say that like that's important to me, but it's, well, you know what I'll do is I'll take a picture and it'll last longer. I should have done my scope in a tux. Wouldn't it be funny? So I've got this presentation today that I'm going to talk about. Wouldn't it be hilarious if I showed up and did it in a tux? It's for my Wealth Beyond Reason certification thing that I am going to talk about here in a second. But it would be hilarious to do... No, I'm not conducting an orchestra. They're conducting me. No, do a Google Hangout with a tux. That'd be funny. May as well get the best bang for the buck. Thanks for the hearts. Am I going to scope from Russia? If my Wi-Fi allows it, I will absolutely scope from Russia. And it's a crazy time difference. I don't remember what it is, but so who knows when I'll do it. But that would be fun because so I get into, let's see, I fly out tomorrow, the 8th here in LA, and I land on the 9th in Russia, and then I sleep. And then I do my thing on the 10th, but there's a lot of downtime. I mean, I think this event that I'm doing on the 10th, it's really just a dinner for a couple of hours or so. And that's it. And then I go to sleep, wake up, and fly home. No, Lynn's not going. She's actually, she is in Florida this week visiting her grandmother, 100-year-old grandmother, just turned. And then she's going to the Periscope Summit, which I was going to do. I am receiving an award, actually. I am receiving an award. I don't know what it's for, but that's what I'm there to do. And I don't even have to. I don't even have to. I don't even have to do a presentation. I just kind of say thank you. Hey, it's really great to be here. That's it. That's all. So, which is nice because I got so much else going on. I don't need to. You saw that. You saw that I had. Okay. I don't know what. I don't even know what the award is. The Best Bob Doyle in California Award. It's a traditional Russian celebration. If you read your history, you know about it. It started in 1966 when I was 1 year old. And they just figured, well, this has got to be it. The people who are giving me the award is a company called Life is Good. Out there, it's like a network marketing. There are 3 different companies. I can't remember all the details of it. It's been a year since I spoke to him, but it's run by this guy who's a super nice guy. I can't pronounce his last name, but his first name's Roman. Can't understand him, but just has a great energy. And anyway, it's a fun group. It was a fun group. And speaking in Russia is awesome because they're so gracious. They're so welcoming of the personal development and law of attraction message. If I can scope, I will. I probably won't scope at the event. That would that would be whatever. But in and around, I mean, I'm not really even going out and about because it's going to be like 8 to 10 degrees in Russia. So I'm going to be in my hotel room. So hopefully I'll just have a nice view that I can share. All right. So let me just say this about this afternoon real quick, and then we'll get into the topic, which is about expressing your creativity and how you do it and how important it is that you honor your creative self within. It's going to be like a 12 to 13 hour flight. Okay, this needs trimming. Stephanie, they would throw me out for good if I tried that nonsense. Okay, so this afternoon at 3 o'clock, I mentioned this yesterday, is a free presentation on the Wealth Beyond Reason / Boundless Living coaching certification program that I'm starting. That'll start mid-February, but it's launched right now. And this is a presentation that explains all about how the certification program works, obviously what the benefits are for you as a coach or a speaker or a trainer who gets certified in the Boundless Living or Wealth Beyond Reason way. This is basically a way for me to duplicate myself and the way that I've been teaching the law of attraction for 13 years. Is that right? Since 2012. So coming up on, 13 and a half years. So yeah, because I've been wanting to reach more of the world. And Russia's a great example. I go there and I speak, but I have to have a translator because I don't speak any other language but English because I am a lazy ex-8 lazy high schooler. And also just always assumed that I'd stay close at home. And then my life dramatically changed in 2002 when I started doing this work. And then I realized, hey, I might be going places. But by then, anyway, so the point is, I speak English, but this message is needed in many different languages. And I've been asked over the years to translate, whatever I have to do, but that's just not the same. So what I've decided to do, what I started last year, is certifying coaches to learn how to teach this stuff, coach it, train it, whatever, with the Boundless Living certification. That way they can kind of borrow from my credibility, the credibility of The Secret, whatever, even though it's not tied directly to The Secret except through me. I just want to make that clear. But anyway, so there's this presentation this afternoon. And if you are a coach or a speaker or a trainer or would just really love to dig deeper into these principles in an experiential way for a 6-month plus period, it's really amazing. Anyway, we're going to talk about it this afternoon. I went on and on about this yesterday, so I won't do it again. But this is a reminder. So WBRcertification.com. If anyone could type that up, that'd be awesome. No spaces, WBRcertification.com, because I can't do that here. That will get you to the page that explains what the certification program is, and down at the bottom is a link to today's live presentation where I can answer all your questions. Okay, that's it for that. Now let's talk about the subject. Thank you very much, Stephanie. How do you express your creativity? So it's a question that actually, I think about a lot. So for what led me to the law of attraction originally was trying to find a career through which I could express my creativity, the various ways that I feel that I'm creative. And I had a background in computers and audio production and an interest in things that were kind of outside the box. And so, long story, I won't get into my whole story now, but for the longest time, teaching the law of attraction, doing the Wealth Beyond Reason program, all of these things was an expression of my creativity. I kind of put some of my other creative outlets aside for a while to focus on this. But then 10 or so years later, I realized that some of those things I put aside, I had really been neglecting. I had a huge breakthrough in that between 2008 and 2010 when I started taking taking on music again. So I've been a musician my whole life, but then I stopped for a long, long time. And so in 2008, I did this Boundless Living Challenge where I really challenged myself to perform music live in front of people, which was sort of the beginning of a long journey. And then 2010, I picked up the ukulele. It changed my life, and now I'm back, to having music be a part of my life. But I also like to play, take pictures, photography, play in Photoshop, computer animation, do those crazy shows I do with Lynn, with Bob and Lynn. So there's a lot of creativity in me that I wasn't expressing for a really long time, and I would bet that for each of you, there are areas of creativity that are dying to get out, that you're finding reasons, or your ego is finding reasons to not explore as much as you'd like to. See, here's the thing. So the universe is the ultimate expression of, thank you, the ultimate expression of creativity, right? I mean, that makes sense, right? The universe is all of creation. We are an extension of that. So we are clearly all about creativity. Not only that, if just being here doesn't tell you that, painting is great. They're all great. Any forms of expression are great, but I do want to dig into what you do, but there's a bigger picture. Obviously, I'm not just asking you what your hobbies are. There's a bigger picture message here. So, boy, every time I read those comments, I just go, Pew. Thank you. We are an expression of creativity, and we have the ability. We've been built with the ability to create. Our imagination, our passions. We just want to create. And some of us are really playful out. There are people who are widely recognized as being creative, like musicians and actors and painters and these types of things when you think about art. But so much of what we do in life is an expression of our creativity, and yet, or could be, but so many people push their creativity down to take care of the day-to-day. They do it. They have a job that they don't like. They have a career that isn't fulfilling to them, and it takes up all of their time and their energy, and they're not taking time to create. They are suppressing the very reason that they exist. We're here to create. We're here to create an amazing life for ourselves. We're here to express our creativity with whatever our gifts are, whether they're artistic in nature or whether they're career, creative parenting. There's all sorts of different ways that creativity can be expressed. But if we're denying ourselves the expression of that creativity, that's when we start to feel like we're dying inside. Does anybody relate? Why are there only 13 people here? I can never take time off again. I've learned my lesson. I take a couple of weeks off in December for the holidays, and I lose everybody. I was up like doing 72 people on my scopes, and now it's 13, 14, 15. And I love each and every one of you, and I'm really glad that you're here, by the way. But it's my own fault. I have to take responsibility for the fact that I wasn't very consistent, and I haven't been jumping on other people's scopes like I could. But this year, I've really recommitted to doing that. I've scoped every day this week. Every day. And this is a form of creativity for me as well, and I really, really enjoy it. It taps into all my radio host creativity, but also my yes, you're great. You're great. You guys are awesome. I love the consistency of you showing up. And you know what? It doesn't matter. This ties back into this certification thing that I'm doing today a little bit, and this is just an aside. It's certifying people is an aspect of my business. And going into it this year, I was actually a little bit resistant to it. And working with Lynn on why I was resistant to it, I really realized that it was because I was tying it into the business piece, revenue generation piece, instead of why I really do it, which is because I absolutely love working with people and having them experience breakthroughs. And so when I thought about it that way, and I thought about, okay, well, this presentation I've got this afternoon and any emails I'm sending, I'm completely detached. I'm completely unattached to anyone jumping on the certification, but I am a stand, however, for anyone who it calls to join, because those are the people that it's going to be the most fun to work with. This is not one of those situations where I want to twist somebody's arm into doing it because it's too much of a commitment. It's got to be something that really calls to your heart. And when I came at it from that place, it changed my whole energy around it. And what I'm saying is that people work, I can watch because it's my day off. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock in the morning here in LA, used to work just fine. But anyway, So one of the things I would invite you to do is to find the creativity in your job or the thing that you do every day. Because look, I love what I do, but it's very easy to get caught up in the business or the work or the money part of it and forget why you're doing it, and forget the creative aspects of it. And think of it as work or a job or hard, when actually what you could do is, what is it that brought me here in the first place, and how can I tap into my creativity and express it through what I'm doing now. But even more, if you really don't like what you're doing now and you're really clear that this is not what your path is, but you're not quite sure what your path is, here's what I would invite you to do. Start exercising your creativity. Whether or not it has anything to do with what you think your career path will be, or whether it's going to solve a money problem or anything. But find a way to start expressing your creativity. If it's artistic, great. Find time to paint or draw or write or do whatever you do. If you've got any sort of, again, let's try to separate creativity from just, it's a bonus that there are 13 plus people who love hanging out with you. That's true. I love it. It's like I said, I have 13 people come over to my house every day and we hang out and we have a nice chat. So I'm not really complaining. I just would love to get it out there. But I'm happy. I'm happy with. Hi, Sky. Good to have you here. Okay, so because when you tap into your creativity and you're purely with it, not going, oh, I'm doing this because Bob told me to, or I should be doing something else right now, but like really honoring the creativity within you and being fully with whatever you're doing creatively. What that does for you energetically in terms of, wow, in every aspect of your life, the message that you're sending to the universe, the clarity with who you are and what you're here to do and what your gifts are, it helps you know yourself better. And it's also, it's a way to take so much of what's beautiful about you. Your doctor's going to join in when you get back from Russia? I don't understand. Join in. It takes things that are inside you that people would never, ever know about you and puts them out into the world to share. I mean, how many times have you been blown away when you found out that so-and-so makes these clothes, or so-and-so drew that, or so-and-so sculpted that, or so-and-so created that business, or something creative that you never would have known. You never would have known if they hadn't done it. You know what I mean? So each and every one of us has this latent creativity that is just waiting to blow somebody away. And it's about, it's not about pleasing the whole world and making everybody in the planet go, oh, wow, you're so awesome. But finding the ones that resonate with what you do, the ones that are inspired by your expression of creativity. And yes, Juliet's got it right. Things happen when we're working on our craft. But I would say that it's the mindset you approach the work when you're really into it. If you've got it like it's work and it's hard and you need to do it because I got to earn money, that energy is not the way to approach it. You do it for the love of it. You do it for the love of it. That's what frees up everything else to happen in terms of bringing money to you or whatever, But when you are doing it because you got to earn money or whatever, or you don't do it because of that, that's just all resistance. And it's saying to the universe that I don't have time for myself. I don't have time to honor myself, which again is another version of that message that says I'm not good enough to deserve what it is that I'm asking for. So of course it's going to be slow to come, if it ever comes at all, in terms of law of attraction and manifesting. You need to honor and love all of you to the best of your ability. And that starts with recognizing where you aren't doing that. And it was like yesterday I was talking about where aren't you loving yourself, or 2 days ago I was talking about that. Where aren't you loving yourself? Creativity and expressing your creativity or not expressing your creativity ties into that. Because if you rationalize not expressing your creativity, I promise you that's all ego or some other voice. It has nothing to do with who you really are. Nothing to do with who you really are or what's true. You're here to create, and you've been given these gifts to express them. I promise you. Your life will, even if money is not an outcome, your life will feel so much richer, so much deeper, so much more meaningful when you channel your creative efforts and express them and share them, with the world. I mean, it's one thing to create amazing works of art or whatever and then keep them to yourself and not show anybody because you have a lack of confidence. That's not really the energy we want either. It's better than not expressing yourself, unless, of course, it just depresses you. How can we kick ego in the butt? Hold on. Also, you could be missing a big part of it if you block it. I block my performance side. Yeah, I blocked my performance side too in huge ways, especially when it came to music. And the ukulele opened me up on that. And Periscope is trying again to reawaken the ukulele performer within. I just really want you to consider what your creative gifts are. What do people tell you your gifts are? And if you have some that you haven't ever shared with anybody, is there something? Here's a good question that you can say yes to, or thumbs up, or hearts, or whatever. Is there something that you do creatively that virtually no one knows about? That's my question. Is that a heart? Yes. And if so, is it something that you'd like to share here? I mean, not in great detail, but is there some sort of creative ability that you have that you don't share with anybody or share with very few people because, oh, who's going to like this, or it's not, for whatever reasons? I see one person is saying yes. Nobody else? Awesome. I mean, I say awesome because now you recognize it. And I'm hoping that you will consider what it's costing you to not express it, but also, sweary fairy, I'm going to have to remember to reconnect that that's you. I'm going to have to remember that since you changed your name on me. Yes, find what makes your heart sing and do that thing. And at the same time, it's about detachment. You just open yourself up so much more if you just do what you love for the love of doing it rather than to earn money with it or whatever. Let that be a byproduct of it. So when I was, for example, early in my career in personal development or whatever, my business started generating much more revenue when I stopped looking at the dollars. I was in a situation in my life where I wasn't thinking about the money. I was thinking about, well, what else can I add to the program? What value can I add to the program? And I was totally focused. I was like doing a lot of interviews with students and asking them, what the results were with the program and all of that. So I was totally focused on the students and the value that I was putting out there and not about the money thing. And then one day, and this is true, this literally is exactly how it happened. One day I looked at my bank account and I was like, whoa, what happened? And then right after that, the secret happened. The secret happened after that. I just want that to be clear. So when I opened up everything about, it's not about me, it's not about my business, it's not about whatever, and said, how can I give, how can I contribute? It opened everything up. Now, what happened is, I've told this story, on other scopes or whatever, is that after the secret, I got back in my head because it was such a big difference, such a big shift of everything for me, that I let it take me out of the way that I had been doing things and started thinking about, oh, well, now I got it. So that was another journey for me to go through. And now I'm really back to just doing what I love to do in terms of this conversation with the law of attraction. After I played music professionally for 3 years, it wasn't really as fun as it used to be. Oh, because of the money, maybe? Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to score films. I thought my whole life, since I started writing music, that's what I wanted to do. All the way up until I was 30, 40, I don't know, something. And then finally, and so, because I write a lot of music that sounds like scores, like film. And then a friend of mine, a filmmaker, asked me to write a score for like a trailer for a film he was doing. And I was like, all right, yes, here's my opportunity. And I sat down to do it, and I just absolutely had nothing. It just changed everything, because it wasn't about me. I mean, it could have been, but where my brain went wasn't about expressing myself creatively. It was about getting it right, right? There wasn't even any money involved. It was about getting it right. I had to do it right. And so the creative aspect of it just went away. And that can also happen when you start just doing it for money and nothing else. So, and I'm very conscious of that with the voiceover work that I do. Many of you know that I do a lot of voiceover work on Fiverr, and it's turned into quite it's a real full-time business, although it doesn't take me full-time, but it's a six-figure business that I do part-time. And I do voiceover because I love it. It's the easiest thing on the planet for me. And the money aspect is just a byproduct of me doing it doing it how I want to do it with the parameters that I set, everything. I create exactly how I do that business. And the minute, if that was like my only source of income or whatever, I might think about it differently. Oh my God, my energy around it would be totally different. So there's this detachment that I have to the voiceover thing, and it all just flows. Can we apply all you've been saying to frustration with the number of people here? It perplexes me. Can we apply to your what perplexes me? My frustration? It's not true frustration. It's just a noticing. I'm clearly having a good time. So I've seen people go, well, I'm not going to scope anymore because there's only 15 people. I'm not doing that. Because first of all, this gets sent up on YouTube. It goes to Facebook. This isn't the only time this is out there. Okay, so that was really it. And I don't want this. This is not a throwaway topic. What would you tell someone who needs to let go of concern or attachment about business? Well, it would really depend on the person, because whatever their concern or their stress is, it's rooted in something else. It's probably a money issue, and it could be tied to survive. There's so many things it could be tied to. So there's no blanket answer. And see, that's the thing that's why I certify coaches, because there is no one blanket answer for most situations. People will ask me questions like that. And I'm like, well, I need to know the person. I need to know about their background. I need to know about what their areas of resistance are. I need to know what business even means to them. Why are they doing what they're doing? So there's a lot of that stuff that needs to be asked so that we know where their areas of resistance are and why they're struggling. And so that's when in the certification program, that's what I teach coaches to look for in their clients, but also in themselves. The thing about this coaching certification is that it's not just about taking a bunch of people who know everything and teaching them how to coach. It's about taking a bunch of people who are maybe just interested or just getting started in the law of attraction and getting amazing at it for themselves first, so that then they can coach other people. Now, if you're already a coach coming into the certification, you're going to be a step ahead of the game because you already know kind of what coaching is about and how that works and how to deal with people and all of that. But even if you're new, the distinctions that we go through in the certification program are so deep and so immersive. And you have to experience them. It's not a conceptual thing. This isn't about learning things to say. It's about truly learning to tap into your own intuition, getting into your own flow, setting your own vision, dealing with your own stuff. Not that you have to be stuff free to coach people, because you don't. But learning how to deal with your own stuff will help you to, number one, attract the correct clients for yourself, but also coach them more effectively because you've been there, done that. You're not just memorizing a bunch of coaching methods. You're learning from experience about truly how the law of attraction works and all of those things. Plus, you have all the tools and support that comes with the certification thing. So, again, if that's the certification program isn't just about a professional move, although it certainly can be, and that's what it's designed for. But you go through that certification program, and 6 months later, your law of attraction mastery is way, way different. Okay, so and there's a lot of what we talk about in these scopes every day is covered in there, including creativity. So I guess once again, I'm just inviting you to how we attract people going through what we're currently going through. Yes, absolutely. Oh my God, every time I would get I would get coaching clients when I was married and struggling with the marriage. I'd get these clients who were in the same situation. I'm going, don't make me coach you on this. But then the message would come through, and I'm coaching to myself as much as I am to them. And it's an amazing thing when you learn how to open yourself up to, when you really connect in a coaching way and you learn how to let your intuition flow. It's like the ego piece goes away, and then the rest of it, the message flows through. How do we know when we're being creative? Well, mucho. That's an interesting question. I'm sure that's going to feel different for everybody, but there's just a knowing. So, mucho, what do you do that's creative? I mean, what do you do? What do you do? Just name one thing that you do that's creative, or just think about it, and then just think about, well, how do you feel? What unique feeling do you have when you're doing that thing, that you know that it's coming from you? You have said that the ideas, the vision, the whatever is coming through you, and you are putting it out into the world. You're physically manifesting whatever is it. All right. Whatever it is that is in you to do, and then you're being creative. And hopefully, okay, good. Good. I'm glad that answers your question. But yeah, so honoring just how important see, this is what I think this is the main message. Your creative gifts are not just this side ancillary thing. They're a huge part of who you are and why you're here. And we get sucked into these paths of career and profession and schooling and learning things, learning skills for all the wrong reasons, just to go out there and make money and be successful. And then the reason that we're here, the creative gifts that we have to give, are pushed down, and sometimes people never get to express them. And that's the whole reason they were here. But we've been, society, etc., has been built around this whole, here's the path, and here's what success is, and here's what it needs to look like if you're going to be a responsible person. Now, clearly, lots of people jump out of that and are highly creative and successful people with their creativity. I wonder if there's things I don't know I'm creative at. I'm sure there are. People always are exploring. Here's my invitation to you on that. If there's things out in the world, if there's creative things out in the world that inspire you, then you might look at, say, well, what is it about that inspires me? What inside me is resonating with that? Like if you're looking at art or a painting. Like when I look at, not all art does this to me, but there's certain types of art that really I love. And I feel like it's because that there's a part of me that wants to express that too. Like I love to sketch in pencil, doodle and do things like that. Like that's one of my favorite ways to draw. And so I really love watching other people who sketch like that, who are really good. That inspires me. And so it makes me want to draw that out too. So you might just look at some of the things that are out in the world that are creative that inspire you and say, maybe it's not that thing I'm supposed to do, but there's something about that is calling to me. Working at a juvenile detention center, we have to be creative and motivate teenagers. Yeah, absolutely. You got to be creative to get inside the heads of kids for sure, some of them. Because especially once they get that age, because they don't buy BS anymore. So you have to first, of course, I don't know why I'm going off on this subject, but you got to get real with yourself so that you can be real with kids if you're going to communicate with them. I don't know why I decided to say that, but anyway, creativity is a constant flow. It's there to be had, but we do pinch it off. The whole deal, life is creativity. That's absolutely Joe. Speaking of creative. This guy, Joe Simon, unbelievable. Totally unbelievably creative. If you're not following Joe, which I know that most of you probably are, but if you're not, will you please follow him? Because he's just funny and extremely talented. If I could play the piano like him, I'd be doing it right now. That's all I have to say. Okay. All right, so that's my challenge to you is to tune into your sense of creativity. If you know for a fact that you have got creativity in you that is trying to get out, see what it would feel like. Try on honoring that and spending a little time doing that and see what happens to you. See what happens to your heart. See what happens to your mind. See where your thoughts go. See what happens to your intuition. Getting into that creative state and being really present with it, everything else kind of goes away and you open up this wonderful channel with the rest of the universe. It's a fantastic time to be receptive to answers to questions, to whatever. Like if you're zenning out on some creative endeavor, you're just open to creativity in general, and all sorts of little thoughts can come to you. So as you do it, you might keep a little notepad. Ooh, I just got an idea to do that thing. And those ideas just aren't random. As soon as we're done, I'm clipping this. This is crazy. Will you please just go away? All right. Yeah, so be creative today. Be creative today. And if you're so inclined, join me on the presentation today at 3 o'clock, wbrcertification.com. You're attracting toothless people. Joe, if I had a humorous line to come back to on that, I would have said it. Okay? Creative clipping. Don't say clipping around Joe, because all he's going to do is tell me to cut my toenails, which, by the way, are cut. These are shorter than these because of the ukulele. Keep a pad by the bed to keep notes. Absolutely. That's one of those things I'm so guilty of when I'll get these inspired ideas in the middle of the night, and I swear I won't forget them. 99% of the time. Easy. Gone. So, yeah, and I think, I know. Once you start opening up yourself to the creative flow, it's only going to get bigger, as long as you honor that. All right. I'm going to run. Because, well, because I've got this presentation to do at 3 o'clock. And what is that, 3 hours from now? So I got to sit around and pace. Actually, what's great is that normally around these presentations, I got all kinds of nerves. Like, oh, because I'm really attached to it going well. And today, it's really about, I just want to share it. I just want to share it and let people know that it's available. And if it costs you, great. And if it doesn't, that's fine too. But so I'm really excited about it. It'll be fun. It'll be casual. Make sure all your questions are answered. Well, Sweary Fairy, if you miss it, there will be a replay. And there'll be a little question form that you can use at the bottom. I mean, with these things, people sign up. A third of the people, if you're lucky, show up. But they watch the replay. But in this case, I'd love it if you could show up, only because if you've got questions, we can answer them live. And I got a special that's going, I got this coupon code thing that you could save 20% on it if you decide to do it, which probably will go away in a couple of weeks. And I mentioned this the other day. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. You'll probably not write it down. You'll probably not remember it. It's okay, because I will mention it in the thing today. But all capital letters, CERTME, cert me, kind of like certify me. If you decided to do the certification program, you plug that promo code in on the order form, you hit apply code or whatever, and then it's 20% off, which is substantial. All right, everyone have an amazing day, night, week, year, life, whatever. And I will see some of you this afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern time. And if not, I take off tomorrow. I got to be at the airport by 2. So I may or may not get a scope in. Probably will before I leave. And I'd love to try and scope in Russia if the bandwidth is happening over there and I can do it. Okay? So follow the Force and never give Darth Vader an even break.